Welcome to 2026, and not just the start of 2026. We're in it. It's January the 9th already. Like you got everything done for the year already. We're good to go. Like 9 days, you got all the resolutions done. Everything's taken care of. No, of course we're just getting started, but we wanted to come together. We'll talk a little bit more about this scenery here in just a second. But I mean, we haven't had a chance to celebrate. Like 2025 was a fairly phenomenal year.
It was.
Great year for the master agency. And we want to hit a couple leaderboards real quick before we dive into what I know for me, Brian, like the conversations that we've been having for the last couple of days, I don't want to give too much away right now, but like I feel like this is going to be one of the most transformational years for my business. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. Like I want to get into these leaderboards, but like I'm really pumped about what's getting ready to happen because of some decisions that have been made.
And we always play bigger together, and you getting us down here is a huge step in that direction. Just saying, hey, come down, make the time. We'll make it worthwhile. And the conversations that I know, just this mastermind of being in the same room together with you guys has really opened up my eyes to what needs to come into 2026 and what needs to stay behind.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be about doing more. It's going to be about doing less, and we'll get into that. So very excited.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the leaderboards because, like, as we said, like there are some things we want to leave in 2025. There's some things we're definitely going to take, but like I think just celebrating and acknowledging like what so many people who made a decision in 25, like the reward is in the decision, and some people made some decisions, and we can see that. Just starting off with this first one, just to acknowledge what the Pritchett Master Agency did, which is made up of the Delaney Agency, the Martin Agency, the Smith Agency, the Pritchett Base. Just given this number right here, for the year of 2025, we wrapped up with $53,098,000 in premium that was written on families all across this country and where we are right now. And families were given that opportunity to really protect themselves in a big way. So just hats off to those of you who were a part of that. Only to those of you who were a part of that. We're taking if you weren't a part of that, well, we'll talk about that later. But like, thank you for doing the right thing by clients and going out there and helping families, protecting families. This is what we're doing. This is what we're here to do. So really excited for that to at least move things forward. And it was a good jump from 2024. It's gonna be nothing like what we're getting ready to see for 2026, but we'll get to that. But Griff, I'll turn it over to you. What's next? So what to do 53 million? It took some people doing some amazing things, and I want you to talk about those individuals.
First of all, I mean, how cool is it to be here in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Well, you just gave it away. We hadn't said where we were yet. I think they kind of got it, but
they know it now. No, but it's such an honor to be up here with you guys.
Same.
Tremendous respect for you all and everything you all have done this last year. To be able to connect like this it means a lot. It's a great way to start a year. I promise you that much. All right, so top 10 producers. This is for all of last year. This is capped premium, right? Capped premium. We'll read the top 5. And these are people that are doing like monopoly numbers, man. This is incredible. Like what we competed with versus what it is now, right? Back then, the premium is just people were able to do so much more because a lot of people working from home. It's just incredible.
And it's huge for somebody to make it to the top 10 of the entire Pritchett team.
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge everyone who's on this leaderboard. It took an entire year, hard work, a big decision at the beginning of last year to do what it takes to be on this leaderboard in all these different categories. So huge congratulations to you guys they're going to be called out.
Absolutely. All right, so we got top 5. Brian Bass, $409,000 in premium last year. Shaquini Cleveland, $410,000. Theo Pritchett, $460,000. I love seeing Theo up there, man. Josh Quillen at $514,000, and number 1 on the leaderboards, which is a crazy number. Okay, Mr. Dylan Crane, capped premium at $1.488 million in premium by himself. A reminder that he started with this company in July of 2024. So this is his first full year of premium.
That's
Can't
insane.
cap.
That's it.
And that's
I mean,
capped. We'll talk about the uncapped sooner or later, but like
Yeah, capped at
like,
7,500, right? 5K weeks, which I really, really like that we're tracking this. We
Yeah.
didn't for a long time because $5,000 a week was the number, right? It was always the number that we would focus on. I mean, I remember competing with you guys in our Asheville office, and 5,000, fighting to get to that 5,000 was so important. But this leaderboard here is, well, there's 10 here, but we're going to read the top 5. The most people, they've had the most 5K plus weeks in the year. Okay, that means they're extremely consistent. That means they're making a very consistent living. All right, we got there's number 5. Number 5 is Keelan Crowley, 35 weeks. Brian Bassett, 37 weeks. Theo Pritchett again, 40 weeks. Gino Locklear at 43 weeks, and Dylan Crane with 53 weeks.
53? 53 weeks?
It's 53 weeks in a year now.
in a
I've
year?
got great news for everybody.
So that's how you do more production. You just add time to the year.
This is going to be the year of 25-hour
This was
days.
off, this was off.
25-hour days, 8-day weeks.
that caught me there. I didn't get 52 weeks for the year.
No, but it is actually, it is. That's
It is
right.
53.
It's 53 weeks because for symmetry, right,
Okay.
it's the number of Fridays.
Yeah.
And we did have 53 Fridays in
We did.
2025. So it is fit, but every Friday over 5K.
Every Friday.
That's
That's a decision.
a decision.
That's a decision.
That's definitely a decision for sure. Mr. Smith, you want to talk about this next group of folks?
Yes, this top 10 agency owners. I'm just going to pull it up because
Yeah.
I don't know what happened a few months ago. 46 years old, all of a sudden I'm not seeing as well.
Your arms just got longer.
My
That's
arm,
what-
that's it,
that's
yeah.
what- Your arms got longer.
46, and it happened to me too. So.
All right, this is capped again. Top 10 agency owners. Huge accomplishment. Because how many agency owners do you have in the Pritchett agency?
We are now up to, there's 97, and I'm going to say qualifying agency owners.
97.
There's some other folks who, like, we'll talk about that in a minute. There's some other folks who could be qualified. 97 that are
I
showing.
wonder who's going to be the 100th. Who's going to be the 100th agency owner in the Pritchett agency? It's going to be any time.
I think people should put it in the chat. Whoever's going to be the 100th.
The 100th that is qualifying. You got to qualify to be on that list now. We're not talking about.
Yeah, this isn't titles. This is about results.
Not
put
titles,
a
results.
Put a 1 in the chat if you know that you're going to be under a 100. Because for me, it was a big deal to be in the first 10. Marshall Whalen told me, he said, when they were with their old company, it was the first 10 who made over $1 million in a year. Now we're a part of a much larger industry with a company that has much more meat on the bone, much more on the table.
Yeah.
And if you get into the top 100 of the Pritchett Master Agency, we're going to talk about those results. But I don't want to spill the beans. I'm just saying it's going to be great.
Let us know in the chat where you're going to be. Like, number 100, number 120. Like, I mean, this is going to be a year. There's going to be a lot of people crossing that threshold because we know where we're going, and that predicates that certain things are going to happen. So it's not a like, will this happen? Like, it's going to happen, and people get to choose whether they get to participate. But yeah, let's get to those AOs. How do we shake out?
So this is actually base shops. So you don't have to have the title of AO, but base shops. Top 10. Number 10 is EJ Johnson with 1.08 million. Edward Pritchett, lead from the front, 1.09 million. Tim Pence, number 8, 1.135 million. Josh Manzano, number 7, 1.156. David Alvarado, number 6, 1.285 million. There's not numbers on here, so number 5, I guess it would be. Max Valerie Mason, 1.32. Devin Adam Jr., number 4, 1.37. Ryan Federico, number 3, 1.6 million. Ashton Lango Lunde, 1.68 million. And number 1 base shop for the year, Dylan Crane, 2.3 million in APV. Awesome job, guys. All right. Ignite is coming up. We are, 65 days?
65 days.
Something like
March 16th through the 18th. It should already be in everyone's calendar. Like, I don't, we shouldn't even have to say it, but we'll say it again. March 16th through the 18th.
That's right.
That's right around the corner. Hopefully your registration is in.
Top 10 promoters who have direct registrations. Mark and Mary Cholak, 14. Kip Kimboy,
Kip Kimboy.
17. Brian Delaney, 17. Dylan Crane, 19. Gino Locklear, 24. Ian Graham, 25. Max Valerie Masson, 31. Tim Penso, 32. Omar Diaz, 32. And the number one promoter so far is 36. Ignite registrations. Marin Degafu?
That's correct. Yeah,
All
Marin's
right.
killing it.
Yeah, she is. Awesome.
Absolutely. Let's roll right into RTWs, because as a leader, as the higher you grow, there are two things that expose. What are you doing direct and what's happening in your base shop?
Mhm.
All growth in 2026 is going to be driven by that. Because if these carriers, I remember last year, American Amicable, I was sitting at a meeting. He said $180 million in commission was paid out. Now, if there was a vault with $180 million in it, would you try to get all of that yourself, or would you call your friends in them? Right? Would you call your family in that? But like,
we can set up a heist. The heist is one person doesn't do a heist. Like,
Well,
we got to get a team of.
there's some people who are on carrier training right now, like trying to put on cargo pants and
Yeah.
a fanny pack and a backpack, trying to get it all
Take it
themselves.
all themselves.
Right? And listen, that's hugely valuable. Profitability and leading from the front is hugely valuable, because other people need to know where the vault is.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to invite your family, you got to invite your friends, because there is so much on the table. And I know we're going to get into that, but when it comes to RTWs, this is powerful. This is at the AO level. We're going to talk about the top 5. Max Valerie Mason, 125 RTWs as an AO, right? We've got Debbie and Adam Jr., 149. Ryan Federico, 150. Tied with Ryan Federico, David Alvarado with 150. Dylan Crane, the most RTWs in his base, 155. And what does that number mean? Right? What does that number actually mean? Because what we see and what you guys can see with what's shown on the screen is that a number of ready to writes, and all this means is people. The more people we have, the more people we help. The more people we have, and that's one thing that I love about our agency, is when you give people more in our agency, especially the leaders, when you give them more, they give more. They give more. And that's what's going to rule 2026. You can see it on the board. Numbers 1 through 7 of managing partners. The person who had the 7th most ready to writes had the 7th most production. The person who had the 3rd most ready to writes, meaning they had the 3rd most people enter their business in order to help more people. And this is such a key time right now, because most people are out there suffering not from a financial education, but a lack of it.
Mhm.
They've been financially indoctrinated to stay struggling, to stay with false starts, to stay in this place of the mediocre middle that's barely surviving. And we need more people out there setting people financially free, securing their family, protecting their retirement, and gaining that financial freedom that we can give them access to. And so, how many more people are you going to call knowing that the vault is open? The vault is open. Marshall Whaling called the most people. He didn't grab a backpack. He grabbed a phone and started talking to people, right? Edward Pritchett, we see this 4,185 ready to writes, and that created over how much in production for the year?
That was and this is for 2024. That was 49 million, right?
49 million.
49 million for that particular year.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying, like that correlation, right? If you invite more people, you do more business.
That's right. That's right.
It is not about making people go to work. It's about inviting them to this. I mean, the opportunity that we have here, you mentioned what American Amicable said, like they paid out 180 million, and we're going to get to some numbers around this, but 180 million dollars in commission was paid out by American Amicable in 1 year, right? Have any of y'all, like right here, I would imagine we've all been in the insurance industry for 12, 14, 15, 17 years. Like we've been in the industry for a while. Has there ever been an insurance carrier not pay out the commission that you were supposed to get?
I've never even gotten a post-dated check. You
Yeah.
know how many post-dated checks I got when I was in the construction business? Hey, don't cash this till Monday.
Don't cash this today.
It was. I remember the first time this happened. It was on a Thursday. I issued I wrote the policy on a Thursday. It got issued on Thursday. It got paid by 4:30 on Thursday. You know how many times that happened in the construction business? Let's round up to 0. Right? I was so tired of chasing money, and I wanted to get into an industry where the money started chasing me because I learned how to bring value out to people.
Yeah. Well, but talk about any other sales industry as well. Like what other thing, like if you're watching, maybe you're not in insurance yet, but you are in sales, you feel like you're good at this thing of selling, but like what other sales job can you have where you can meet with a client one day, help them, protect them, they pay for the service that you provided for them, they're excited about it, and then sometimes, as you said, the same day, the people who you're selling it for, these insurance carriers, are compensating you for it. And not just like, and look at the, not just compensating you for it, like I get someone to pay $100 a month for a policy, and next thing you know, the insurance company, for some reason, they want to pay me $700 that same day for getting someone to make a $100 commitment. What other sales job, what other industry is there another one? Have you got, I'm sure y'all have been looking too, like, or maybe not, I haven't.
It is. It's an unbelievable industry. And I didn't realize it when I first started, the power of this industry, what we have. I didn't realize there's more millionaires created every year in the insurance industry than ever before. And sometimes even being here, we lose sight of what we actually have.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes coming to Puerto Rico and seeing the lifestyle of the Edward Pritchett and driving around and seeing the neighborhood that you live in. And you know, I know we're going to talk about why we're here in Puerto Rico, but this industry created that for you. It's created an unbelievable life change for all of us. And it is an incredible industry. And I'm more excited about this year in 2026 than I've been at the start of a year in a very long time. I feel like the vision that we have, and we came in prepared, we came in already thinking about what we want to accomplish and how we're going to do it, and the lives that we're going to impact, and the agents' lives that we're going to impact too. And so we came in prepared, but there's something about getting together physically face to face that just raises your vision, raises the expectation of what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful, like you said, Griff, to be a part of this group, to be a part of you guys. But I'm grateful for you, Edward, for inviting us to be here in your home, in your neighborhood, in your town here in Puerto Rico, and show us what's possible.
Right, and that's like why we could have had a Zoom meeting and tried to talk for a couple of hours at a time and figure out what we have like definitively figured out. Like it's not even like a question. But I can remember kind of November, December, you know, we've been doing these master agency calls together for a couple of months, and you know, we have been restarting something that it like they weren't happening in January of 2025, right? So we can all agree they weren't happening. We started to do them, and we're like, but there's like, what is it? Like, what's the clear thing? What's the clear vision? Where are we going? What are we doing together? And I can remember like reaching out to you guys. It was probably like mid-November. I was like, guys, like, all right, what if we all got together? Like, let's do something. Let's get together. Let's spend some time. Let's block off 3-4 days and just say we're coming out with it figured out, with the game plan. And you all, yeah, let's do it. And we're here in Puerto Rico. You guys took the time out from your families and came down here, and like, we planned out an agenda, and we worked through this process, and I thought, Brian, that it was going to take like a couple days, but it was amazing, right? Like how fast, like once we're just here sitting down, I'm looking over here at the whiteboard that we were working off of, and how quickly one number appeared, how quickly one thing to do, like that one thing that we know is going to take us to an entirely new place. And so just, I want to thank each of you for, again, you took the time out. It is challenging to get all of our schedules to line up and make it happen, but we're doing it not just for ourselves, but we know that each person out here who makes this decision with us we know the impact that they're going to have. Like it is great to be here in Puerto Rico. I love living here. You know, even though some of my neighbors I didn't get to pick, they just decided to show up because they had enough money to buy the house. But we won't talk about them right now. But like, it's amazing to have that. But like, how accessible that is because of this industry.
Yeah, it is accessible, and you've shown us that. I mean, just driving around and seeing the houses and seeing the oceanfront property that's on your vision board, and I'm just thinking, man, I don't think big enough. Every time I'm thinking I'm catching up to Edward, I'm going to catch him. You have a bigger vision, and that's the power of getting together physically. I mean, last night we had dinner with right next to our table was Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. We had Harry Potter sitting next to us at dinner. This is where he comes to vacation, but this is where you live. And that's all because of this industry. And I know that you have had a refocus. Like as we have more success, we want to like branch out and do more things and get involved in different industries. And you've even seen the power of what we have in this industry. Yeah. And you've never invited all of us down to have an annual planning meeting with just your directs. Like you have this year in Puerto Rico. So I would love to know from you, what is it about 2026 that you felt like it deserved us coming here and spending some time doing a whiteboard and really figuring out what we want to accomplish and how we're going to do it?
Yeah. Brennan Bouchard says the number one habit for high performing individuals is clarity. And over the past, since going back as far as 2020, like I have not been clear about what I'm doing. I've had this business and that business and, you know, impact here and do that. And we get it. Like we all want to do a lot. Mm-hmm. And we like just jump on Instagram, TikTok, or is Twitter still a thing? No, it's X now, right? Mm-hmm. Like any social media platform. And there are 1,000 things to do, right? 1,000 ways to make income. 1,000 investment opportunities that this is what is going to turn out for you, right? But what got me here to Puerto Rico was the life insurance business. We moved down here in 2018. We paid for the house that we built, that we've sold subsequently, with funds from an F&G life insurance policy. Mm-hmm. Funds that were put into that policy because of the insurance business in the first place. And I was just looking at this year, I was looking at what I was doing, and I've said this to you all before, but like sometimes you need those inflection points, and the beginning of the year is a great inflection point, right? Like we don't have to treat it all, like, yes, 2025, it ended in a 5, I'm in a new place. It ends in a 6. So let me just go ahead and treat it like a new place. And I was just tired of being in 17 different places. And especially 17 different places where 16 of those places were not doing things that were beneficial for me and my family. It wasn't giving me more time. It wasn't giving me more money. It wasn't giving me better relationships. All it was doing was straining my relationship with my wife, straining my relationships with my best business partners that I've had in any other business that I've been in. And I said, like, we have to come together to say, let's get the most out of the thing that we know will deliver the most. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the numbers, like we were looking at many of you may know, my background is engineering, right? Yale University, engineering, like I'm very analytical. Okay, so if I get into some numbers here for a second, please forgive me. It's just how my brain works. But thank God I have business partners that can balance me out on that. But we were looking at the numbers. We're like, okay, we finished with $53 million. And I would imagine everybody in business does this. Okay, so what's the next year going to be? Where am I going to finish the next year, right? Like, who starts something with no end in mind that is actually successful? Like, there's a lot of people that start stuff.
Okay,
there's a lot of people that start stuff with no end in mind, but it doesn't end up being successful. So, like, so we started looking, and that's what we've been talking about, is we started to dive into the numbers. Like, what did the numbers tell us? To get to 53 million, what did it take? What are other agencies doing to get to the numbers that they're at, right? We didn't just look at the Pritchett agency, we looked at all of Symmetry. We started looking at numbers that we're getting from our friends at other insurance marketing organizations. And so, like, what are they doing to get the numbers that they're getting? And we did the math, and we started looking at, and what it came out to, like, we came up with our number, and we said, if we do this, and we commit to this, by the end of this year, we'll have submitted $90 million worth of production. We will go definitively. Like not like a maybe we'll get to 90 million, but if we do this, we're gonna go from 53 million in 2025 to finishing up the year with $90 million in production. And just like you were talking about we're not gonna catch up to Am just yet, but that $90 million translates to $65 million of commission paid out to the agents that are part of that. Does anybody want to get part? Like, we don't have the Am $180 million vault yet, but we have a $65 million vault yet, and it's open for us. Like, we're not even going to get caught when we take it's there. Like, all we got to do is pick it up and walk out with it. So that is what, again, coming down here collectively with one another, being able to figure out just one thing that we can do, that we all can commit, and we made that commitment to one another, that's what we're gonna do. And now we need to put the process in place to start doing it.
But it's all going to be spread around evenly, isn't it, Brad? Like it's like everybody's going to get a little, right? Because that's how
Never
things
how it
work.
works. Never.
That's how Social Security is supposed to work.
Yeah, that's why it's broke.
That's why it don't work.
I mean, here's the thing. People are asking, okay, why Puerto Rico? We answer that question. Why 2026? What's different about it? There's things happening in the industry. There's changes happening where we are positioned so well. You are positioned. We are positioned. Everybody has an opportunity to change their life. And I would just say, I go back to whenever I go into a new year, it is a time to reflect. But I also think back to my first year because I was studying for my insurance license in December. I was going through Christmas and New Year studying for my insurance license, looking at what is next. And I felt like I didn't know how I was going to get out of the situation that I was in. There's a lot of people listening and watching that are on this call that are brand into this industry. And maybe you feel like you're at the end of your rope, like you can't see a way out. And I was there. You were there. We were there. And a lot of people even were there a year ago going into 2025 and a decision was never really made. Like there's a lot of people who did make a decision and change their life and we're celebrating them, but there's other people that are just not where they wanted to be. And if something doesn't change this year, nothing's going to change this year. So why 2026 for you? I would say because the clock is ticking. It is continuing to pass us by. And it is time.
Yeah.
It is time for you to make a change in your life. And that all starts with a decision. And to me, what we've done over the last day and a half is bring clarity to what has to be done. We looked at a lot of things. There's a lot of numbers and a lot of things that factor into you doing 53 million. For us to do 90 million. That's a huge jump. That might sound scary to some people that's a huge jump, but a lot of people on this call need a huge change.
Yeah, that's right.
And just know that whether you're, starting small or you're starting big, there are some really big things that can happen in 2026 if you understand what it takes, if you understand the metrics behind it. So we were on the whiteboard, you were writing down, production numbers and lead allocations and referrals, and there's so many things, advanced markets and lead types and all these things, but it's confusing. There's so much that you can just say, I don't even know where to start because there's so much. And Brian, you boiled it down to one thing. And I have been in this industry for 13 years, and for me to say, whoa, I don't have to worry about all these other dominoes. I just have to worry about the first one. If I can push this one down, all the other ones will follow. And I saw that number, what it means, one thing, that if we can do this one thing, 90 million, and what it's going to mean for us and what it's going to mean for everybody that chooses to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And Griff, it was all four of us. We weren't sitting in Puerto Rico. We were sitting in an office in Asheville, in Swannanoa. That's where this started.
That's where it started.
And that's where the next chapter begins. And this is an opportunity for you to start the next chapter and what it's meant for us to sit in that room and to invite you into this room.
Oh man, I would not be here today if it wasn't for the community that we all had when we first started. We were running corporate overviews. We were inviting new people to this business on a weekly basis. We were doing call teams together. We were competing. I remember competing vigorously with you, right?
Mhm.
Showing up, trying to get more premium than. But if I didn't have that community, I mean, and that's a big part of why I'm here, right? Is to be able to connect with you all and see how committed you guys are to 2026. Like when I started in this business, I didn't have my wife and 2 kids. The kids didn't even exist, right? They didn't come till 10 years later. But I was like, I'm going to start building something now that may or may not be here down the road. I'm so glad I made that decision. If I had started building when my kids were born, it would have made it very difficult, right? But that ability to kind of project into the year, like we're in the beginning of the year, this is the time to hit the reset button. If you weren't where you wanted to be this last year, let yourself off the hook, forgive yourself, right? And
Can't do nothing about it. Can't do nothing about last year.
It's going to create anxiety. But if you think about this next year and where you want to go, and the fact that we were able to, I was told at one point in time that the core values for Symmetry were written in like 30 minutes.
Mhm.
They were written super fast, right? It's like that number that we came up with was found quick.
Mhm.
It was found very, very quick. But now is that time for you to be able to say to yourself, what do you want 2026 to look like? Where do you want to end up? Where do you want to be in January 2027? It's the perfect time to have that conversation with yourself, with your leaders, really with yourself. I should probably put it back on that, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have some conversations with myself and the things I'm going to be doing differently this year versus last year. And hearing your all's thoughts around that have helped me tremendously. So it's like, if you don't plug into that community that you have around you, you have calls, you have all sorts of, you have your upline, you can create community for yourself, right?
Yep.
And if you have that, you're going to grow.
Well, and that goes back to the unequal distribution.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the number 200. Let's talk about the number 200 because we know that when it comes to this business, that if we're talking, how much did you say? 54.
So of 90 million, that's gonna be 65 million of commission paid out.
Mhm.
And what we know is that 20% of the people get 80% of the results. Pareto principle, like that's everything. That's not just this business. Like that's not us.
That's Symmetry thing.
Brian Delaney didn't make that up. He didn't,
Thank God.
he didn't write that rule down. That's anything that you do, right? And when we broke the numbers down, that means that 20%, and we're going to have about 1,000 engaged writers over the course of the year to make that happen. 20% of them are going to get 80% of the results. So just do the math. That's 200 people. 200 people are going to be splitting up $52 million worth of commission. And even if you do it just the averages, the average is $250,000 in revenue that's flowing to 200 people.
So this year, 2026, 200 people will make an average of $250,000, which means some will make 7 figures.
Correct.
That's right. That's right. And it's not about the people who've been here. See, this isn't a let's take turns thing, right? This isn't a take turns game.
Yeah.
It's my turn. It's my turn. It's our turn. You decided it's our turn when you invited us into that first room. And what we're saying is it's our turn. It's our turn in 2026.
Yeah.
It's time. And for some of us, that might be turn around. For some of us, that might be let's turn our focus back to the things that get the result, because one of the perspectives that we all gotten from doing other businesses is let's go back to where it's simple.
Let's go one a little bit. Right?
Man, I wish I would have turned around a whole bunch sooner. Like, why did it take me 3-4 years of like beating my head against the wall and be like, this isn't fun? Why am I doing this?
I don't know how I got distracted from the bank vault by picking up nickels on the sidewalk, but but when we and that's what 2026 is. For some of you, you might be in that place where it's like, oh, so I should just do more. So I should just do more. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less.
Yep.
It's about doing less of the things that distract us from the primary purpose. It's about doing less of the things that take us away from time and money freedom. It's about doing less of the things that take away the choice of who we want to spend time with and how we want to spend that time. It's about putting ourselves into that position where we can make a decision that this year I'm going to do more of the things that grow time in my future, not shrink it. I'm not going. We all know that if we want to grow focus, we've got to have less distractions. It's going to be a year of less distractions. We all know that if we want to invest more in something, we have to invest less in other things. I remember the first years in this business, I had to make hard decisions, and it was all around deferred gratification. And it turns out I don't remember any of the sacrifices that became the seed for this business. I only remember looking back after 2 years in this business and realizing that after 2 full years in this business, let's see, it was 2 full years. By the end of the third year, I had made $242,000. I found financial freedom. They told me where it was. I went there. I got it. And I remember looking back and saying, I would have done 10 times more.
Yeah.
I would have given up 10 times more. And it's so great to be able to look back in hindsight. But this is the year that we start creating that hindsight. This is the year that we start looking back. If you're in that position where you're like, well, I hope everything changes in 2026. It's like the circumstances are ripe, but the decisions have to be right.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, and I think about that number 200. I love that number 200. I love it because I remember Brandon and Casey talking about this and you doing the same thing for us. Like, what percentage of the Pritchett agency do you want to be? I remember you specifically asking me that question. And Brandon and Casey saying, what part of this do you all want to be? It's like, do you want to be in that 200 or not? I'd say put in one of the chat box if you want to be in that 200. Because we have what, 500 people joining our call right now? 200 people, right? That's a large percentage of people that are going to be making between 6 and 7 figures this next year. That's an incredible number. So I think you have to make that decision. It's a land grab. You've got to decide to be one of those 200 people.
But it's a land grab with infinite land.
Yeah.
Like, right. do we like the industry? We've talked about the industry just a little bit. Like, I don't want, like, we're setting a bar, like, we certainly can exceed it, right? Because we're in an industry that in 2024, life insurance and annuities, premium that was paid by clients in the United States to insurance carriers exceeded $1.4 trillion. Can someone count that up for me? Like, I mean, like, right? Like, there's more than enough. Yeah. But this, what we're laying it out very clearly, and it's going to be that one thing. Like, as we're talking about being able to get, like, why are you doing this? Like, have you made that decision? Have you determined that? And then made that decision to say, I'm not going to let this year be like last year. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make the sacrifices that I need to make, because a year from now, it's going to be so good, I'm not even going to remember the sacrifices. Mm-hmm. Right? And that just comes with people making that decision. We'll see who put the one in the chat. We'll call everybody who puts the one in the chat. We'll make sure somebody reaches out to you and make sure that you're ready to go and you're doing what needs to be done. But Brian, like, we're talking about all this stuff. We're talking about it in the sense of from a sales standpoint, and this is a sales industry that we're in, right? We're insurance sales agents. That's what we're licensed to be able to do. But, like, sales on their own, and this is, you were talking about this earlier, like, some people want to go into the vault and they have the cargo pants on, they have a book bag and a satchel, and they're trying to get it all themselves. They're trying to be the top sales guy or the top saleswoman. Mm-hmm. But, like, top salespeople in every sales industry quit or change or have moved from one sales industry to another or one organization to another. Like, we are in this place where, with the partnerships that we've created, the partnership that we have with Symmetry Financial Group, Quality Insurance Holding, the Pritchett Agency, the Delaney Agency, the Smith, the Martin agencies, like, we have a partnership that I firmly believe, like, there's a reason we're different. There's a reason, like, we're special. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We're better than everybody else, right? I've been very humble, but like I don't want to say that kind of stuff. But like, let's stop playing around, right? That's one of the things for 2026. Like, if we're gonna do one thing, we're gonna stop playing. Number one, and just say this is it. We're better. For those who choose to do it with us, they're gonna be the people who are making 6 and 7, not in 2 or 3 years, in this year.
That's right.
And like, why is it that like people do quit those others, and why is it like this is the place?
Well,
this is the time.
Let's talk about that really quick, because it's not pedigree, it's not education, it's not race, it's not religion, it's not the family you came from, the work that you did. It's not any of those things in the past. That's not why we're the best. It's important. It's important that we stop playing around, right? But it's going to be the people who decide to stop playing around and start being number one, because we absolutely have the opportunity to do that. And what is it going to look like? It's going to look like not starting over every year. That's why we're sitting here together. We share this opportunity. It's like, if you're a top sales guy for too long, you either move on to something different, you move on to a different opportunity, you try to go out and sell again, but you have less will to do it, right? You have less will to do it the next year because you've got to restart. And the problem is, you learn, like, I don't know about you guys, I've learned how to spend more money every year of my life. Has anybody else?
They had to teach you, like it was natural, like it just happened.
Just like I was born with certain attributes, I was born with the skill of spending all the money that I make. I've had to learn how to save. And whether it's investing in other businesses, whatever it's become, they either move on or they get sick. They burn out. And something blows out that candle for them.
Yeah.
Right? Something blows out that candle. And there's a lot at the end of that career, there's a lot of wish I would've. Wish I would've. And not being able to. And every single person who gets to join us in this conversation, I'm so glad I joined into this conversation, because there was 2 conversations that were going on at the beginning of my career. One was the sales conversation. How much can you sell? How much can you sell? And listen, I was never great at sales. I was good. I got good. I got good enough to pay my bills on my own pen. That's what I was told to do. Get good enough to pay your bills on your own pen. Get good enough to lead from the front. That there's never been a team that's been led to greatness with a leader who's thinking about their cell phone bill. That there's never been a leader who's led a team to maximum impact by doing just enough to ensure maximum struggle, right?
Yeah.
I remember one of the things that I had to leave. I remember this in 2012 when I crossed 2013. Well, I had to leave investing almost enough in leads. I had to leave making almost enough dials. I had to leave booking almost enough appointments. I had to leave all that stuff. But one of the other things that I decided to leave in 2012 was doing this by myself. Casey said one thing: if we focus on sales, we might get sales. But when we focus on building a business, we will get sales. And it was for one simple reason. It's when we set our goals above, when we lift our perspectives just above, we get the posture and things start to happen. It's the investment in the future that creates that hope in the future. And when there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. When we have to constantly restart, whether it's every Friday booking brand new appointments, we know that all the 6-figure earners that are in the agency, that they don't start off at 0 every single week. They have rollover appointments, they have rollover applications, they have rollover commissions, they have all that. So just in order to be great at sales, you start to create this pipeline. We were told early in this business that money doesn't grow on trees, it flows in pipes.
Yep.
And what you have to start creating that pipeline of hope. And it doesn't get there. That pipeline of hope is not created by just doing now for what is now. It's by investing in the future. Oh, I can't wait to see who the next person is who gets financially free.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that next person. Have you ever seen somebody, we've all gotten to experience this, but that look on their face the first time they get a huge deposit.
Yep.
When they get a deposit in a week that used to be bigger than their month. I remember watching Ian Graham the first time that he made in a month what he used to make in a quarter in his old job, and he became free. Watching Tim Penso, watching Jordan Hunt go from making 80,000 in a year to making 40,000 in a month. All of a sudden, a light turns on.
Yeah.
Why? Because he knew he didn't get there alone. He brought other people along with them, and that's the big win here. If we want to create hope in the future, we've got to start building for the future, not just selling for now.
Yep. Brian, I got to say something about that, because I think about my team right now, and it's loaded with top salespeople from previous jobs, right? There's all kinds of people on our team that were really, really good at a previous position, right? I think about Ben Edson, right? Top sales, solar panel sales rep up in Asheville, North Carolina, which is a very competitive place for solar. Came here to build a business, right? Because he was knocking on almost 700 doors a week. 700 doors in a week is like the most he got.
That's work. I don't,
It's
like
work.
what we do, I don't know if that. Like I don't know if you
Yeah.
be prepared.
And that's like driving through the mountains, and
Yeah.
like we're used to run appointments, right? But loaded with top salespeople, they come here because they want community. They want to build a business, passive, system driven income.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they're here. That's why I'm here.
And that's the shift that has to happen, because I didn't understand how to create wealth until I understood leverage.
Yes.
And that's the difference between playing in the producer sandbox and playing in the builder sandbox, is that you can make a lot of money in personal production. There's people who have made a lot of money even last year in personal production, but that's not what keeps people here. They might get tired, they might get sick, they also just get tired of not growing.
Yeah.
It is exhausting to work really hard, even if you're making a great income, and to not be growing, to not be making progress.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, but think of some careers out there, people who make a lot
Exactly.
of income. Surgeons, dentists, lawyers, like it goes on. Like, but the ones who just do it like they're just a private practice, it's just them. Like, yeah, you can make 200, 300, 400. Like, hopefully your dentist is good enough where like it's very routine what they do when they're trying to fix your teeth. Like, it doesn't change that much. But like, people quit those careers and leave a lot of like they totally burn out of those all the time. Like, you can look at, just Google that one, right? And you'll like, people leave careers like that. People leave that kind of income all the time. But when you start leverage and impacting others, right? By being able to impact others, by being able to say, hey, I don't just want to make it, I want us to make it. I want we to make it. It's not just about me, right? Then it's a new ball game. Like, you will still get tired. You will still have rough days. But Brian, I bet you on your roughest day, if you get a call from Jordan Hunt, if you get a call from Tim Penso, it changes your day, right? Like, when I get a call from Ike Munello, my day, like, it doesn't matter what's been going on, but he calls me to say, hey, here's what just happened. Boom, right? Or I just hired these number of people. Like, we just went out and closed this amount of premium for the week. This is the most my team has ever done. Like, it doesn't matter what's been going on with my day. Like, now I get that lift. And that's not even the dollars and cents of it.
Exactly.
Right? That's just like, it keeps me engaged in my business. It keeps me wanting to fight for more, to say, okay, if we can do it for them, who else can we do it for? Who else can get to participate in that?
And that's a powerful thing. It's like, if we look at what people want, it's the same things now as it ever was.
Yep.
Freedom, growth, ownership.
Yep.
Freedom, growth, ownership. And there's so many people, and this is part of what we help people do, is we help people to get free. Why? Because a lot of people in our society put their hope in retirement. They want to be retired. I don't even like being tired. I don't even like being tired, let alone retired. Right? Like, I just want
again.
should I be tired again? Is it like, I want freedom, growth, and ownership, and that's exactly what we've all achieved through this.
Yeah.
But it's like, can what I do now really make that impact? Because the actions seem so small, but the outcomes are so big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, it's more than just the money. How many people want to come out of 2026 with passion, with purpose, with knowing that you're making a difference? The income will be there, but that's only going to happen through duplication and bringing other people on board, giving other people the same opportunity. So I know that people are wondering, okay, what is this one thing? What
I
is,
mean, the smart people already got it. I got y'all. Y'all got it. I know you got it.
But I think having a target, like a clear target, okay, this is what really matters. I can make a certain number of dials, and I need to do that. All the things that we know we need to do to pay the bills and all the things.
Yeah.
But what is the most important number to make sure that by the end of 2026 we're not where we are today? We're not coming back to do it all over again, starting all over. We're building from a new foundation. What is it?
No, I mean, it's why we did the leaderboards the way we did the leaderboards, right? We wanted to end with what we, and I keep saying, we keep saying like we figured it out, like we didn't figure it out, right? It's like, it's just a law. Like
It's a pattern.
it's a law, a pattern, a law, like it is what it is. And so I can either try to fight against that or try, well, no, it's actually like if you mix all the numbers up like this, it's going to give you some. No, it's how many people do you get into a position where they can come and write business with you on your team?
Ready to write.
How many ready
New
to
recruits.
write? And that, like, it's that simple.
And here's what got me excited. I looked at the Smith Agency from 2023, 2024, 2025. Think about, there's a lot of things that have changed in those years. Things that happened with new lead types, new approaches. Maybe lead flow went down. Maybe bonus leads weren't available. There's a lot of different things. And it's like each year, the total APV for the year had an almost exact correlation with the new ready to writes for the year. It was every single year, almost the exact dollar amount. It didn't matter what happened throughout the year. That number stayed consistent. And then, Griff, you did the math, and you were like, I'm within $23 of annual premium per ready to write that you are. And we looked at all, and it's like, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Like, if you truly want to create leverage and scale and grow, and you want an agency that produces system-driven income that's not just trading your time for money. That's what I wanted. That's how you truly create wealth. Then that's the number that you need to be paying attention to. That's the one you need to be looking at every month, every week, every quarter, and you need to set targets around that.
Yeah. And let me ask you, all of you this question. How do they get that? Like if that's the one thing, like I know that's the one thing we've committed to focusing on, and we've made our like, here's how we're getting that. That's one of those, like, that will be developed, right? Like as we answer that question, but it's making the commitment that I'm going to get that, right? Like we're all independent insurance agents, right? And we look at that number, that ready to write number, and we know the more people I give the opportunity to do that, some of those people are going to go and be independent insurance agents. And guess what? Some of them are going to choose not to be. But every time I give more people the opportunity to do that, it drives that number. But I don't know if we want to comment on that before we got too much. But I really want to kind of keep like that in everyone's mind. Like, stop worrying about advanced markets and what leads I'm going to get and like all these other things. But just getting back to that singular thing of, okay, I'm doing this business. I'm going to be an independent agent, right? I'm going to do what I have to do, right? All the other dominoes, the other important things. But the one thing I'm going to focus on is I'm going to be inviting more people to see this opportunity so I can start creating more ready to write members of my team.
You know, and I think about that idea of ready to write. And yes, it's very scalable. We talked about how predictable this business is. You and I just ran the numbers. We were like, I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars in premium over a whole year, and it was so close to each other. We looked at each other like, really? And then we ran Edwards, and it was unbelievable how accurate it was. So there's a predictable element of this business if you let it be, right? If you respect the numbers. The other piece of hiring somebody in this business is community, right? You get people around you. You know, there's accountability. I know that when I started hiring people, my production went up.
Yep.
Not my business production, but my personal production. I had people watching me, right? They were like wanting to know. I was competing with them just a little bit, right? You get committed. You also get you get accountability. It builds community. You can help others get free, right? You can help somebody else come into this business and make a living. Like I remember, I didn't know how gratifying that was going to be until it happened. I didn't realize that like leading a team and helping other people go out and make a living was going to be so gratifying until I actually did it. I had no idea, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build a business. These guys are. I might have a family one day. Then all of a sudden, I found somebody. They started making money. It was incredible. It was so gratifying that I helped them do that. And the last piece of it is there's system-driven income, right? There's additional income that is now coming into your business you can use to fund your business. You can use to put back into your business. You can use that to grow your business even further and help other people grow their business, right? It's not on your back so much. I remember when overrides started coming in, I remember thinking to myself, like, the pressure's off on my clients. We talk about this a lot. If you book 15 appointments, is there pressure on your client? Not as much. If you book 3, you're sweating, right? We call it commission bread, right? If you have business-driven and system-driven income coming into your business, it takes some pressure off you. You can relax a little bit. You don't have to focus so much on that.
This is powerful. Simple, duplicatable system that helps people to get free from trading time and money. Simple, duplicatable system that helps people get free from trading time and money. Edward, you got in contact through Griff, through somebody else you knew in the insurance business. Mm-hmm. You got in contact through me, through somebody else you knew in the insurance business. You got in contact with Brad through somebody else you knew and somebody else they knew who knew them. Mm-hmm. Right? Who weren't even in the insurance business.
Mm-hmm. Who all quit them.
That is so powerful. And what we have to do is talk to people about this opportunity, not because we know they need it, but because holding on to the opportunity and putting it in our pocket is selfish.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like the amount of generosity to get from Swannanoa, North Carolina, to our first phone team at in your 700 square foot farmhouse, to being next door neighbors with the Ritz-Carlton Reserve. Can we just share that? Can we share the $62 million in commission that'll be paid out? Can we share the opportunity to be free? There are so many people who were just like us, where we thought we didn't have anything left. We just knew we needed to get out, but we didn't know if there was any way for us to get out. Yeah. And we found a way.
Brian, to your point that you just said, like, it's this ideal that all we need to do right now is share this with as many people as we possibly can. It's not make them get. Like, I even kind of shy away from the word hire. Like, I'm not trying to hire people. I'm trying to share this opportunity as often as I can, as frequently as I can, with as many people as I can, because I don't know who is looking for what we have the capability to do. I don't know who needs to go out. Well, I do know that there are a lot of people that need to make more than the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year that they're making. I know that there's a lot of people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but have zero time freedom. I know a lot of people who are doing well, but they're not doing well.
Oh.
And like, that's true. The only way I can even give them the chance to get out of that is to share what we have here. Nobody here is perfect, but we have a system that is enabling us to live the kind of lifestyle and to start working on that. Like, we get to work on time freedom. We get to work on money freedom. We get to work on relationship freedom, right? Where we can unburden like the things that are making relationships bad because we're just not there. We can't be fully there. We're worried about too many other. That's what this opportunity does when we share it. When we don't share it, you can go out and make an income. You're not going to be able to get all those other things.
You may not like the outcome.
You may not like the outcome. You're not going to be able to live, as John Maxwell, our friend, talks about, a purpose-driven life, right? Because that's the other freedom that we get to have. And we get to make mistakes along the way. Because like some of us thought over the past few years that our purpose was to go out and do like all this, but we realized, you know what our purpose is? To do this the best we possibly can, to share this opportunity with as many people. And that's why we've made a commitment to that for this year. That's why this year is going to be what it's going to be, right? And that's why every single person who's watching gets to make a choice today. They get to make a choice. They get to make the choice of, am I going to pick up the phone and share this opportunity or am I not? Am I going to send that text, send that email? Am I going to talk to that person I haven't talked to a while and share the opportunity that was given to me? And the more I share this opportunity, as you were saying earlier, Griff, like when I start sharing this opportunity and people say, yeah, I want that opportunity too. All the other things that I'm supposed to do, for some reason, I start doing those things. You know, I start ordering all the leads that I don't do just enough. I like order all the leads that I need. I make all the dials that I make. I start writing all the business that I need to. Like that stuff starts happening automatically, and that's why this has become for us. It was a reminder to come back together and say the one thing that we need to focus on is how often am I sharing this opportunity so I have more ready to write agents that they now have the opportunity, not the guarantee, they have the opportunity to go and be the best possible agents they can be and share the opportunity too. And like the more we do that, like what this really could be, like we still don't know yet. Like when I said earlier, like the limitlessness of the insurance industry, a $1.4 trillion, that's just the little area that we're in. There's a lot of other insurance stuff that we start making more in this space. Guess what? It translates to the space we're in. We don't have to go and get into all these other businesses. We don't have to go in because this is such an amazing blue ocean opportunity for us. And all I have to do is one thing: share, share, share.
And the reason why all you have to do is share it and not make anyone do it is because the 20% out of that 80-20, they know they belong there.
Yeah.
They know that that's where they should be. The top 10% know that they belong in the top 10%, and they're going to step up and do whatever it takes to make it happen. But the challenge sometimes is that even though you know you were created to be more and to be in a better place, you know that the situation that you're in right now isn't where you belong. You know it deep down, but circumstances have happened, life has happened. You got a curveball. And sometimes it's hard to see a way out. The way I started this call, this call today, is that I remember when I was starting out, I was in the worst place that I've ever been in. And I didn't see a way out. I prayed for an opportunity. I prayed for the right people, and I found them who I could watch and I could emulate and I could follow, and they could give me hope that life could be different. And sometimes the people around you don't see it because they think that this is it for you. Like you've had your last opportunity. You've had your last shot. You've failed too many times. And I wondered if those people that were saying that in my life were right. But I saw people like you guys who fought anyway, didn't necessarily know exactly how it was going to happen, but you knew that it was going to happen. And there was a story that I heard one time that's just so inspiring to me. It was a pastor. He talked about this tour in the Louvre, that the tour guide was taking people from painting to painting to painting, and that the people he was guiding was Olympic level athletes and people that have like world champions at different things. And one of the people was a world champion chess player, #1 in the world. And one of the paintings was called Checkmate. And it was this painting of the devil on one side and this man on the other side. And the man had his head in his hand. And you could see that he had lost the game to the devil. He'd gambled with the devil one too many times and had been beat. And that chess player looked at that painting like he was studying this painting. He was looking at the chessboard and really trying to analyze it. And the tour guide had already moved on. They were looking at different paintings at that point. And the tour guide realized that this chess player was still back focused on this painting. And he went back to get him and said, hey, we've moved on. You must really like this painting. He said, well, I have a problem with it. And he said, what problem do you have with this painting? And he said, well, you realize that I am the #1 chess player in the world. I'm the world-class champion of chess. And so what I do for a living is I study chessboards and I look for ways out and I look for different maneuvers, and I have a problem with this painting. So what problem do you have? And he said, well, this painting is either going to have to be redone or it's going to have to be renamed because it's called Checkmate. And I see on the chessboard right now that the king still has one more move.
Yes.
It's
Come
not
on.
over. It's not done. Just because millions of people had come before and looked at that painting and they accepted that it was checkmate, that was it, that there was no other opportunity for that person. But somebody who could see and who studied this saw that there was another move left, and this opportunity, symmetry, was my last move. And other people who are watching this, there's still one more move. You have another opportunity. Things can change for you if you make the decision today. January 9th of 2026 is going to be different. This is going to be your year. It doesn't matter what other people think of your circumstances. You're not going to accept that because you see a new opportunity. Other people that have come before you have taken this opportunity, and if they can do it, so can you. Why? Because that's where you belong.
Thank you all for being here and for doing what you're doing to be able to pour into like every person who is watching this and will watch this, because like I'm sure the recording will be played in the future. Like, guys, I hope you show gratitude to these gentlemen because it's come together like this to be able to share this with more people, to share this opportunity because so many people think they're in checkmate. And we know, like we can see it. Not that we're chess masters. I don't know if any of y'all are chess masters. I'm not a chess master.
I'm a checkers master.
You checkers, okay.
Yeah.
We got checkers. We don't got chess.
Top tier in Connect 4. Connect 4, I will crush anyone.
We may not be masters of that, but man, we know this business and we've seen it.
Yep.
We get to live it, and we now can look and say, "You're not in checkmate.
That's right.
You're not in checkmate. You have another move.
Yep.
This is it. Let's do it. Share this opportunity with others, and life is going to look entirely different. December 31st, 2026. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon.